Hi guys! Today I'm going to be doing a first impression video on ColourPop in general because I have never used ColourPop. I know, crazy, but I have never used it, so it will be kind of my view on their cosmetics in general and then on their holiday #2 launch. The first thing, of course, is the palette. All I see is magic. Looks like this on the outside. I have not opened anything, so I'm super excited. On the back, it actually has the names of all the shadows. It has the names on the palette as well. And then you open it up and there they are. Just a really wide variety of options that you could do, I think, with this palette. So we will play with that and I will do swatches and all that fun stuff with that. So I think what I'm going to do is swatch the palette and then move on to the lip stuff and the highlighter that I purchased. So I will do the first swatch on camera and then after that I will just do the rest of them and show you what they are. I'm going to attempt to do something that I've seen in quite a few different videos. Raw Beauty Christy does it, as well as Stephanie Nicole, and I think it's a really good idea. I'm not going to prime my arm though. I'm just going to do it with my bare arm, but I am going to swatch it with my finger as well as using my full coverage shadow brush from Smashbox. The first color is Go Wish. It is described as a matte pastel peach. I don't know if you can even really see it. It's right there. So although it's hard to see, that went on pretty well. It's just so close to my skin tone that you can't really see it. So I will swatch the rest of these. And come back and show you. So here is the first row, and again, this one is Go Wish with the brush swatch. Swatched very well, even though you can't really see it very well. Then we have Now and Zen. It is described as a metallic pale yellow gold. Then there's the brush swatch. It's more muted, but it went on fairly nicely. The next shade is 1111. That is described as a metallic rose gold with silver glitter. So right there, and then the brush swatch wasn't very nice, but it is there. The next shade is Treat Yourself. Treat Yourself. And that one is a satin true ivory, so of course it doesn't look like much, but it is an ivory, and the brush swatch did not go on very well at all. Doesn't mean that the shadow is not nice, but it did not work very well with the brush. The next shade is Top Notch, which is a matte terracotta brown, and both of them went on very nicely. The brush swatch was actually really impressive. Now I will go and swatch the second row. One thing I wanted to mention was that in between each swatch that I'm doing, I'm using my Vera Mona color switch. It's just a nice item to have if you want to use the same brush over and over again, but you don't want the color picking up after using a different color. So you just take the brush and swish it around in there, and then it cleans it, so you don't have to worry about it transferring the previous color on. Here is the next row. I kind of went, but that's okay. So the next one is Tinseltown, and that is described as a matte cranberry. Both of them went on very nicely, as you can see. The next one after that is Twinkle Toes. That's described as a metallic black gold. So kind of gives off the gold, but as well as a kind of bronze type reflect. The next shade is Something Special. And that one is described as a metallic deep maroon with purple glitter. And that's pretty dang accurate. It's a very nice color. It's not picking up on camera completely, but it is a very nice color. The next shade is Wishful Winking, and that is right here, which is described as a metallic warm brown with an intense teal duochrome flip, and that is a really nice explanation of this shade because, again, you can't really see it on camera, very well, but it has a nice teal flip, as they said, to it. So the final shade is called Pitter Patter right here, and it is described as a metallic rosy copper with gold flecks. And both of them went on very nicely. Of course, the brush swatch is a little more toned down than the finger swatch, but both went on very nicely. Overall, this whole row went on very nicely with both the brush and the finger. I will do the final row now. Here is the final row. First color right here is called Save It for Later, and that is described as a metallic amber shade. And I would agree with that, but I would also say that it's more of a traditional gold type shade. The next shade after that is Big Spoon, described as a matte pastel coral. And of course it doesn't show up very well on my skin, but it went on pretty well with both the brush swatch and the finger swatch. The next shade is called Teacup, and that one is a matte, warm, dusty taupe. Again, the brush swatch and the finger swatch went on very nicely. The next shade after that is called Imperial. Right here, this orange shade, and that is described as a matte, soft red orange. The finger swatch went on more intense than the brush swatch, but overall the brush swatch went on very nicely. The final shade is called Never Never, which is described as a metallic dark chocolate with multi-dimensional glitter. And I would describe it as a dark, like they said, dark chocolate, almost a black with gold glitter flakes in it. So there's a better look at that. And that is the whole palette right there. So I will play with that in a little while, but we will move on to the lip swatches next. I bought quite a few different ones that they had from the line. Just wanted to kind of get a wide variety of their different shades, but also their different formulas, because I got ultra matte lips as well as their gloss. First one is called Lightweight, and it is described as a dusty brown pink. I'll swatch it on my arm and then I will swatch it on my lips just to have a different variation of swatches. So it is a dark dusty pink shade right there. First impressions of the lipsticks, the ultra mattes, is that they're very lightweight, and you do have to go in a couple of times because it has a smaller doe foot applicator, but so far I really like it. It goes on the lips nicely, and it's already pretty much dry, so it's fast drying as well. So there is Lightweight. This next shade I almost bought just because of the name. I thought it was really cute. It's called Take a Pixie, and it is described as a dusty beige. There it is right there, and next to it you can definitely tell it's more of a brown type shade. Right here is Take a Pixie. To me, this is more of a milk chocolate shade, I think. Their description's a nice description, but my description would be a milk chocolate brown. So the next shade is called Starcrossed, and it is described as a deep berry red. And it looks like that right there. I would agree that it is a berry shade. I would also consider this to be almost like a blood type red. It's just a nice deep red. I can see that it's a little bit streaky on the top inner part of my lip. Let's see if putting more on will help. That did seem to help out that shade. It stained my lips a bit, but we will power through. We have a couple more left. This is the last ultra matte, and it is called Snowfleek. It is described as a rusty red shade. Definitely describe that how they did, a rusty red, basically a brick red shade. You do need to work fast with this. It dries very quickly. So there is Snowfleek, and as I said, it is just a nice brick red shade. Next one is actually an ultra glossy lip, and it is called Imagine, which is described as a pinky red with pink glitter. There it is right there. So this has an interesting texture to me. It seemed like it was going to be sticky. It's not sticky at all. It does have some slipperiness to it when you put your lips together, but it feels very nice and soft and nourishing. I really enjoy that, and this color is very nice. Just a nice Christmas type shade. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to use this one. It's just stunning. Final lip shade that I have is also an ultra glossy lip, and that one is called Believe Me, described as a rich sangria with violet glitter. So right there. Here is the shade Believe Me. It definitely reminds me of, like they said, sangria or some other type of wine shade. Just a nice fall or winter type shade. Alright, so that is it for the lips, and we will move on to the highlighter, and then I will do a quick look and tell you what my overall thoughts on the collection are, as well as ColourPop in general, since this is my first time using it. They had two highlighters in the holiday collection. They had Touche and they had Taffy. I chose to do Touche. It's described as a golden melon with a soft pink duochrome shift. So it looks like that has a really nice mirror in it. And I already have all of my face done except for my eyes, because we're going to be using the palette and my lips. So let's go ahead and use my regular Y14 Morphe brush on it. So it's definitely a lot more pink than what I had expected, but they did say that it was like that. I kind of just picked it up because it looked like it was less pink than the other shade. It isn't bad, but it's not exactly what I thought it was going to be. So the formula seems to be very nice. I don't think that it will pick up on texture, but again, I don't have a whole lot of texture, so I can't speak completely to that. Seems like it's really nice though. Before these glosses get everywhere, I'm going to wipe them off. And the staying power of those lipsticks is pretty crazy. I'm rubbing very hard, so I don't think you'll have to worry about them coming off. You can still see the marks even though they're gone. Alright, so I've already primed my lids with my concealer and set it with my Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. I'm not quite sure what I want to do for a look, but we will just see what grabs my attention. I think what I'll do is, of course, grab that first shade, Go Wish, that peach shade, and just set that all over my eyes. There is a bit of kickback, not a big deal to me, but just to let you know. Definitely not super pigmented. I know it's close to my skin color, so that's part of the reason, but it does build nicely, so no complaints so far. So I think what I'm gonna do is take this brown shade right here, which was called Top Notch, and I'm gonna put that in my crease. Again, there's kickback like that on it. That shade is definitely coming more pigmented than the other one, but again, I think the other one is just too close to my skin tone, so it might seem like it's less pigmented because of that. So far I'm really liking these shadows. I'm going to take a smaller brush and go into the shade Tinseltown, this berry type shade. Not skipping or being patchy at all. Just going on very nice. Not having to take a lot of effort to blend it and get it how I want it. Now that that is on, I think I'm going to take that beautiful color right here called Save It for Later. Going to try and use my finger without MAC Fix Plus and see how it works. Again, I usually use MAC Fix Plus, so we'll see how it works without. That's going on pretty well for not having it, but I'm just curious to see what would happen if I did use some. See, I can't get away with not using MAC Fix Plus. It just takes it to a whole nother level. That's insane. It's like having gold foil on my eyelid. I love this color and I love MAC Fix Plus. I'm going to do the same thing on this side, just setting down the shade and then using MAC Fix Plus over top. That is just stunning. Absolutely stunning. I'm very impressed, especially for the price of this. I know I didn't mention the prices, I forgot. So this palette retails for $20 and you're getting 15 shades in it, so not too bad. And the lipsticks were all $6 too, even the gloss. The highlighter was $8, so not too bad for the size that you're getting. Plus you're getting a mirror in this as well. So going back in with the shade Top Notch. I cannot believe that I haven't tried these shadows yet. I really am a palette person and I feel like they probably have a lot of nice Super Shock shadows that they sell. I just hate having all these little tiny individual ones sitting around. I know they've come out with quite a few different palettes. I just wasn't really inspired by any of the shades they had at the time. So I seen this one and I was like, that is gorgeous. I have to break down and try the ColourPop stuff. So I pulled the trigger and so far I am definitely impressed. Just going to blend that out a bit. Kind of diffuse it just a bit. So far I am just, I'm so excited. I'm going to put some liner on and put some more mascara on off camera and I will be back to do the lower lash line. I ended up using, believe me, the Ultra Glossy Lip because honestly, if I'm talking about the Ultra Matte and the Ultra Glossy, I think that the Ultra Glossy is better, so I did end up going with that. I do need to do my lower lash line still, so let's take what is left on the brush. I'm going to take another one of my small brushes, go back and take Top Notch just on the very outer edge, again connecting it with the other shadow on top, and then finally taking that shade Go Wish again, just to go over and soften it up a bit so it's not so harsh. Just kind of lightens the color up a bit. So ColourPop has a new fan. I really enjoyed everything that I purchased. The highlighter wasn't exactly the shade that I was thinking it was. It's a really nice shade, and I do like how it makes my face just have that nice glow to it. It's not too overpowering and blinding, although I do like that sometimes. Sometimes I like the just nice subtle glow, and I wouldn't say it's subtle, but it definitely is toned down. The shadows worked perfectly. I barely had to work with them. I honestly haven't had that easy of a time blending shadows in quite a while, so thumbs up on the shadows. That palette is very nice, first impressions wise, and it, like I said, has 15 shadows and it's $20, so just over $1 a shadow. The lipstick versus the gloss, I prefer the way the gloss feels because you have more movement and it obviously feels more comfortable on the lips than a matte would, but their mattes are very nice and they dry down quickly, and they are very true to the color that's in the tube, which I really like. When you put them on and they're wet, the color is basically exactly the same, if not the same, as when it dries, which I really like, because there's a lot of times where you get colors and they're completely different and it's kind of hard to judge and know what colors you want. So I really liked that their colors were true to what one was described, but also to what's in the tube when you're looking at their website. Recap of the prices. Like I said, the palette is $20. All of the lipsticks and glosses are $6, and the highlighter was $8. Depending on your budget, I know everybody's is different, but I feel like this is very affordable overall. Just hands down, I cannot believe, bow down to you, I cannot believe how nice these items are for their price. It's just amazing, and I will definitely be purchasing more ColourPop in the future. No doubt about that. Well guys, that is it. Hopefully you found this helpful. If you did, give it a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you aren't already. I put out videos Monday and Wednesday. It might be switching to Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm kind of having a hard time getting a nice schedule. I'm still working at it. You gotta bear with me on that one. If you click on the notification bell in the corner, it will always let you know when I do a video so you don't miss it. And this one will probably be up on a Tuesday just because of time constraints I have. But until my next video, I will see you guys next time.